I have been suffering from what I now call pretty girl syndrome. It's where I care so much about how I look and appear to others that I am paralyzed if I think that something will have me look anything but perfect. I'm not talking just about looks. This includes looking like I have it all together too. Participating in DEBx put my pretty girl syndrome in overdrive. In fact, I quickly realized that things were starting to get messy. I was embarrassed to share the drafts of my message, and I was confronted when Deb pointed out how quiet and soft-spoken I was in person. So confronted that I disappeared and stopped communicating, because that felt better than showing that what I had going on was messy. You see, I have big dreams. I want to transform childbirth in the United States and empower women as they embrace their femininity and move into new realms of consciousness. But I still sabotage myself. And that's exactly what I did during the DEBx program. Here is what happened. I recently hosted an online event called the New Birth Paradigm. It's designed to bring in new leads to my business so that I can then sell my services once the summit is over. It went amazingly well, and I got over 1,000 new subscribers. At the same time, I also moved into a luxury apartment in Scottsdale, hired a pricey new business coach, traded my 4Runner in for a Lexus, and I was really excited about a new relationship. So life was good. But then I completely bombed the sales phase. I didn't make a single new sale or renew any expiring client contracts. That meant I had zero income coming into my business with a lot of new expenses. This was overwhelming, and I thought that if I just remained positive, that everything would be fine. What I was actually doing was ignoring the reality. So, as you can imagine, this only made it worse. I maxed out my credit card, and I exhausted my savings. I was forced to cancel my contract with my business coach because I couldn't pay for it, and I no longer believed in myself to generate the income. I had to ask my mom and my ex-husband to help me pay my bills. Those were some uncomfortable conversations. I then just completely dropped off the face of the planet. I stopped talking to my friends and family, and I dropped off of social media. And I upset and hurt a lot of people when I pushed them away because I didn't tell them what was really going on. At first, I was too embarrassed to ask for help. The pretty girl syndrome was in full effect, and despite all of what was going on, I wanted to look as though I had it all together. So I didn't want a single soul to know the truth. But the truth was that there was actually a time I didn't have any money for gas. I had literally used up all my coins and my gift cards, old gift cards, and I was sitting at the gas station with my son, not knowing if we could make it home with what was left in the tank. I considered asking somebody there for help, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. I remembered times that other people had asked me for help to put gas in their tank, and I had judged them, assuming that they were lying or lazy. So I realized that I needed to do something different. The next day, much to my dismay, I went and got a job doing hair at a local salon and day spa. After being self-employed for 5 years, it was painful to be an employee again. I judged the owners, I judged the employees, and I realized that I felt like I was better than everybody. I felt sick to my stomach at this realization. I also came to terms with the fact that my long-distance relationship with my boyfriend wasn't working out for me. So I broke up with him the same day that I was supposed to meet him in Hawaii. I now had no money, no boyfriend, no business coach, and not even a rough draft for DEBx. That was just 5 days ago. I knew that Deb was about to cut me from the lineup, but I knew in my heart that this is what I was meant to do. So that night I wrote her an email, and I confessed everything that I'd been dealing with and everything that I'd been hiding. She responded with such love and compassion that it sort of shocked me. It seemed I should be punished for hiding and disappearing. The next day, I went to her house and we started writing my talk. We decided that this would be me coming clean so that I can start with a fresh slate. So if my talk doesn't sound as polished and prepared as some of the others, that's because it's not. This was written just 3 days ago, right before our dress rehearsal. And yet I am so grateful to be here. I do want to share with you some of the amazing insights that I gained by going through this experience. I realized that I had become quite the snob. I hadn't cleaned a toilet in over 5 years, and now I had to clean my whole apartment by myself. It was brutal. I was actually putting my nails and lashes above other important bills. Needless to say, the nails and lashes soon had to go, and I still survived. I realized how much I judge people and how much I judge myself. I realized that I needed to learn how to budget again. My priorities were all out of whack, and going down to the bare basics, though, actually felt freeing. I learned that you can call companies and ask to pay a bill late. They all said yes. I realized that I still have some signs of PTSD. I experienced some trauma when I was younger, including being molested frequently as a child and finding my brother's body after he had committed suicide. I still have triggers that have me feel unsafe and scared. But PTSD and anxiety don't fit in with being the pretty girl, so not very many people know that about me. I've seen how I speak and act positive on the outside, but what I'm actually feeling on the inside is sadness and pending doom. I was legitimately surprised that I didn't die when I asked for help. I actually just got the help I needed. I also realized some major things about my dream life. I don't actually want to sit behind a computer all day. Working only remotely and all online seems glamorous, but what that actually looked like was staring at my laptop for hours on end. I also realized that I love being in nature, and I need to disconnect from the world sometimes so that I can rejuvenate. But I do have to be honest, I disappear sometimes. I don't quite know yet how to deal when the messiness and imperfections arise, but I do promise to expose those parts of me more and more. I learned that I'm still loved even when I'm not perfect. And others want to contribute, and they do care about my well-being. And there's so much abundance in this world that there is no reason for me to suffer in silence. And lastly, but certainly not least, I love people. And I love being with people. And I truly desire to make a difference in this world. So the bottom line is, I am not perfect. And I feel way better when I show the good, the bad, and the ugly. And now when I see a woman that is beautiful and perfectly put together, I wonder if she's constrained by the pretty girl syndrome too. I want women and girls to know that being beautiful is so much more than how we look and looking like we have it all together. Because we are human beings, and sometimes human beings get messy. So I have a new definition of what being the pretty girl means. It's about embracing your humanity and being unapologetic about who you are. So yes, I am a pretty girl, and I'm not giving up just yet. Thank you.